Thank you guys for joining me today in my frosting cupcake tutorial class. Today we will be making a kind of a maroon colored frosting as well as a forest green with the ombre of the maroon around the edges because we're going to do some leaves, and I'm going to show you how to decorate some floral cupcakes as well. So in my cupcake frosting tutorial class, which is another Facebook group that I have, we made raspberry lime Bellini frosting, which is this. So if you're not a part of that group, you need to join because this frosting is amazing. It has prosecco in it, okay? All right, so since we pureed some raspberries for this frosting, it already gave us a natural pink color, as you can see here, which is really pretty, right? So we're gonna go ahead and use some of that to make our flowers with. So I'm just gonna scoop some of that out, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on my saran wrap that's already right here laid out for me. I'm gonna roll this up. I usually say like a burrito, but we're gonna start saying like some sushi, like a sushi roll, right? So we roll that up, and then we're gonna set that to the side because we're gonna use that in just a little bit. All right, so now I'm gonna take my bowl right here, and I'm gonna scoop out some more of this frosting. And we are going to use a maroon color for this one, okay? This is by AmeriColor. I love their frosting colors. They tend to come out true to shade, and if not, it's easy to change them. So since we're only using a tiny bit of frosting, I just put a tiny bit of color, if you can see that, just one tiny dot, okay? And we're gonna see how that comes out first. If we need more, we'll add more. So let's go ahead and mix that up and see what that looks like. Let's see if it does anything at all. Because the maroon color sometimes tends to come out super dark. So I like to use a little bit at a time just so I can watch the color. Okay, so it didn't really do much of anything. So I'm gonna add one more tiny drop. Well, that one's a little kind of a big drop. So let's see. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so this looks like the color that I'm going for. All right, I'm gonna let you guys see in 1 second. All right, so this is it, okay? Perfect color. Perfect color for what I was trying to do. All right, so now I'm gonna take my saran wrap out, lay it down. And we're gonna put this frosting into our saran wrap for easy cleanup, right? All right, let me close the top on that, put it to the side so I don't accidentally use that again. I'm getting older, I'm getting forgetful. It's hard for me to remember stuff now, y'all. All right, so we've wrapped that up. Tie a knot on the end. And while I'm making the other one, I'm gonna take these two and I'm just gonna put them in the refrigerator, not the freezer, but the refrigerator for a minute. Because they're okay, but I have lights around me and I don't want them to get hot and start melting, okay? So I'm just gonna put that in the refrigerator while we're doing this. All right, so they're in there. Now I'm gonna take this. Now since we're doing a green, we don't have to wash this bowl out at all. We could just leave it as is. And we're gonna take some of this color, or some of this frosting, excuse me, and we're gonna put it in here. And then we're gonna take our green, which is a moss green, also by AmeriColor. And we're gonna put one drop. That was a pretty good sized drop. Same drop we used on the other one, the last drop that we did, okay? And we're going to mix that up. Now, whenever I mix my colors for anything, I always like to mix with just a little frosting at a time. I would never mix it unless I want my color super light, okay? I would never mix frosting with color in a big bowl like this with all the frosting in it, because if it has a lot of frosting in it, it's going to come out lighter. It's not going to come out true to color because it's trying to divide the color up between a whole lot of frosting. So not as little as this, but I would put it in a small bowl like that and probably fill up half the bowl at a time to mix. All right, so that color came out good. I'm gonna show you guys that in 1 second. Let me just lay out this saran wrap. And then I'll show you the color. So here's our green, okay? And we're gonna put that on there. Now I left purposely a little bit of the maroon color because I want it to be like, I don't know, this is for the leaf. So I want the leaf to look a little bit more natural, okay? Now, I'm going to take my finger and I'm just gonna kind of make this a row of color, of frosting, excuse me. Because I'm going to add, let me wipe it off. I'm gonna take this tip, which is a number 3 tip, which is your tiny, tiny circle opening. It's a number 3. And I'm going to put some of this frosting into that tip. So I'm just gonna take some more saran wrap. And this is gonna be like our two-toned leaf color, okay? So I'll take some of that saran wrap. I'm just gonna take a little bit of frosting. We only need a little bit. Okay. And then I'm just gonna roll that up. Wipe my finger off. I'm gonna tie one end so that the frosting doesn't shoot out the other side on us. All right, now I'm gonna cut this end. So we have an opening, and I'm going to put it into our number 3 piping bag. All right, so what I'm gonna do with this is I'm just gonna take this and just do one small tiny line on the side. Let me move this so you can see. One small tiny line on the side of this frosting with this green. Because I'm gonna want this to pipe out, and we'll see how it comes out. I've done it once before and it came out really good, but we'll see, okay? It's been a minute. All right, so we just want to pipe that one out. So just one little tiny line on the side of all of that green. Okay, now we're gonna roll it up. And I will try to give you a closer look at the line. It's very skinny. And we'll see when we pipe it out if we should have did it bigger or not had did it at all, okay? All right, so if you can see that, it's just one little tiny line of the pink. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the refrigerator as well. All right, now I'm going to take out the other 2 that we already did. I'm gonna put that leaf tip to the side because we don't need that right now. We're gonna bring in the guest of honor, our cupcake, which happens to be strawberry because that's what I had left over. And then we're gonna take these 2 frostings and we're just gonna cut the end that does not have the knots, okay? And then we're gonna load them up in here. So today the tip that we're using is a 97 tip. The 97 is very similar to the 121 or the 125. It's just more of a wave pattern to it. It does the same thing. You can use a 121 or a 125 and it's gonna do the same thing, okay? So don't worry if you don't have a 97 tip. But they sell all of these tips at Hobby Lobby. Walmart, I think Walmart does have it as well. All right, so these 2 are both the 97 tip because I wanted them to be 2 different colors, okay? All right, so, and then we'll do our leaf later when we take it out the refrigerator. Don't let me forget to take it out because remember my brain ain't right. Okay, so we're gonna need our needle or our, what do you call it? Our little stick that we're gonna decorate. It's in my dishwasher right here. And then we're gonna take some wax paper, parchment paper, whatever you have on hand. And we're just gonna cut it into 4 squares. We're actually gonna get more than that. I'm gonna cut that, okay, and I'm gonna cut it down just a little bit more because I don't need all that. All right, so we have our little squares here, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our needle. This is a number 7. It doesn't matter what size it is, up to you. And let's start with our darker frosting first, just because. And we're just gonna take a little bit of frosting and just put it right on the nail, because that's gonna be our glue that's gonna hold our parchment paper down, okay? So we put that right on there, and there we go. It's holding it on there. Okay, so now we're gonna take it. Remember, you take your piping bag, put it in the back of these 2 fingers, take your other hand, put it here, turn it opposite directions. Your big opening end should always be on the bottom, and your skinny opening should always be on the top, okay? All right, so we're just gonna make a simple flower right now. So we're just gonna put a dollop of frosting in the middle, because that's what it's going to attach to. And we're gonna take it and we're gonna do like a half moon shape, and we're just gonna go over, down, up, and over. And we're just turning the nail as we go, okay? Now, the more you lean in, you're gonna have a closed flower. The more you lean back, you have an open flower. Always start with it closed. Otherwise, your frosting will be falling everywhere. Okay. So this is looking good. Let me just add a couple more. And if you notice my hand movement, that makes all the difference when making flowers. And that's a cute flower. I'm gonna try to hold it to where it won't fall, if you guys could see that, okay? So now I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna put it on a baking dish or cookie dish. Cookie tray, I can't talk, cookie tray, that's what it is, okay. Because we're gonna put that in the freezer when we get done. All right, so we still have a little bit of frosting on there, so we can go ahead and stick that on. And we're gonna do another one with our lighter color. Same thing with the lighter color, okay? Remember, big part on the bottom, small on top. And I'm gonna do this one a little bit faster, just so you guys could see how you'll be able to do it once you get a hang of it. And me turning it all kind of ways is just because it could be slipping in my hand. That doesn't mean you have to turn the stick that way, okay? I'm just trying to keep it from falling out my hand. Now this one I'm gonna do just a tad bit bigger, because we're gonna put 3 of these on a cupcake, and we're doing a small cupcake, so I'm doing these a little bit smaller than I would if I was using a jumbo size cupcake. These are gonna be on a standard size cupcake. All right, so we did that, and we're gonna do one more. Let me just put some more frosting on here. Some more of that glue. Put that on there, and I think we'll do the dark one again. And we'll do one more of the same thing. And then maybe we'll do one flat flower. I'll show you guys how to do that. And we might have enough room to add it on there. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. But we'll make it just in case. Okay, one more. All right, great. That is done. And then we'll do our one flat flower, and then we'll pop these into the freezer, okay? All right, so this is how you do the flat flower. You wanna lay this flat in the palm of your hand, and you're gonna do this type of motion, okay? We're just gonna do a small one. So you want to go up and back down, up and back down. And I'm just going to go over it twice because I want to close in these gaps. Okay, so here we go with that, okay? So let's put it on here, and then we're gonna pop this into the freezer, and then I will be back in about 10 minutes. We're gonna leave them in for 10 minutes, let them harden up. I'm gonna come back, we're gonna decorate our cupcakes, and then we'll be done. Okay, it has been 10 minutes. Our frosting should be ready by now, so let's go ahead and decorate this fabulous cupcake, okay? All right, so I just took, what is this? This is a number 1A, okay? This is just your big round tip, but any tip is fine. You can use your leftover frosting in the same piping bags with the same tip as we had before, but since I had to wait 10 minutes, I went on and just cleaned up my area and I washed everything out. So I had to get a new tip so that we can use this as the glue to put our flowers on top of this cupcake, all right? So let's wait for that for 1 second. So remember our green with our pink stripe? We're gonna go ahead and take this. I just took it out the refrigerator. We're gonna cut that one end off. Now we're gonna make sure when we put it in our piping bag that we want the pink going, let's see, how do I say this? Our piping tip is going to lay sideways, okay? So we want our pink to be, let's see, we're piping it out. We want it to be straight up. So we want our pink to run along the crease of this. All right, so let's put it in. Our pink is running along the crease of the piping bag. So we can see our pink right here on this part of our piping bag. We're gonna push this down. Now we don't know yet if this is gonna work. We're gonna hope it will, okay? I'm just turning this so I can make sure that this lines up with the pink. And if it don't work, it don't work. But we're gonna try it and see, okay? All right, so that's right there. Now let's go ahead and put our blob of frosting anywhere on kind of towards the side of the cupcake. That is our glue, okay? So we put it right there. And then we're gonna grab one of our flowers. We always wanna leave them in as we work, that way, because our hands are hot, we don't want it to melt. And now I got all these lights, the room is usually hot. You don't want them to melt while they're sitting out waiting for you, okay? So my refrigerator is right here, so it's not like I have to go far. All right, so let me grab one. All right, so I'm gonna grab one of the flowers. It looks so pretty. Just take off the back of the paper and we're gonna just set it right on top, okay? That looks super cute already. All right, so we have it sitting right there on top. Then we're gonna take, because we have our lighter one, we're gonna do it right on the side. And we're gonna do that blob a little bit higher, okay? And we're gonna grab our lighter flower. Did y'all see me bump my head? My God, it's dangerous. All right, so let's put this one right here. And we want it to, let me see, I'm gonna put another little blob in here because I want it to be able to stick to the other flower. Okay, let me try to wipe some of that off. Okay. There we go. So we put that right in there. So here we go. So far, we have two, okay? And then I'm gonna turn it around. And then we're gonna put one more on that side. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get the other little flower we did on there or not, because this may be too small. Okay, but let me grab, I'll grab both of them so we can just see which one we like. How about that? We'll grab both of them. So either this one, this one. Well, we might be able to get both of them. Okay, let's try to do it really fast because it's sitting out here. So let me put a little bit more on this side. gonna try and put this one right here. I think we can get both of them on there. And then we're gonna put this one right over here. Yay, we got them all on here. All right, we did it. Okay, so now let me show you how that looks. And then we're just gonna pile on some flowers on top. Okay, so this is how it looks so far. And then we gotta fill it in with our leaves. I keep saying flowers. We gotta fill it in with our leaves, right? So let me just try to slide that up a little bit. There we go. All right, now I can't touch it anymore because it's starting to melt, so you don't have that much time. Okay, so here's our leaf. We're gonna still try to hold it right. We have our pink line right up on top, okay? And this is straight up and down. So let's try to push it out and see what happens. All right, so we're just gonna fill in our gaps. And I'm just going in, out, in, out. And then we're gonna turn, in, out, in, out. And then I'm gonna fill in here because we don't want anybody to see where we put our little block of frosting, right? This look cute, y'all. And when I'm adding multiple flowers around each other, I'm kind of turning them different ways because you want it to look natural. You don't want it to be like in a line, you know? So to tell you the truth, I can only see the pink on one of the leaves. So I think next time I'll do a wider pink line so that we can see it more. Okay, I think that is so pretty. Let me show you. And then I have to put it in the refrigerator so it doesn't melt and fall on me. Okay, so after I do at least just one of these, I would put it right in the refrigerator, okay? And I will let it sit in there for at least 10 minutes before I package it up and put it into whatever box it's gonna be in to get delivered. Because you wanna make sure that these rose frosting flowers are secure onto your cupcake so they don't fall off. I've never had one fall off, but probably because I do this method, okay? Because they're super soft right now. If I touch them right now, it's gonna get messed up. But this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Check out all my other ones, and we will be back again next week, tomorrow, a couple days, whatever. Just check in and see when I have another tutorial for you. But I hope you enjoyed it and you have a good day. As always, give me your opinion in the comments. Let me know if you tried it, how it came out. Ask me questions. You tell me things that I left out that you feel like I should have put in. Whatever you want, just let me know. I am open to all suggestions. And you guys have a great day. And thank you again for joining me. And I will see you later.